Hey, so welcome back to Jay's Studio here. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I've got some videos coming up. I just need to get a few things done on both this printer, and real quickly I'll shift over to the Thinker, which I am in the middle of upgrading both the hot end, the extruder, recabling, all a bunch of stuff. So this one won't be ready for a bit. But the ER-20 here I have been working on mostly for over this past week. Was having some issues getting it dialed in. I had tried Klipper firmware. I put a few videos up on that, and I'm still going to do a series on Klipper firmware, but I decided with this printer to kind of punt and go back to Marlin, which turned out to be harder than I thought it was going to be. And in fact, if you remember the Facebook group for Eryone, you will have seen a few of my posts kind of detailing the very specific and idiosyncratic way Marlin was playing with me as I was trying to get the latest firmware up and compiled for the ER-20 with some changes, because if you'll look closely, or if you've noticed, I've changed the extruder here to an E3D type extruder. This one's by TH3D, but it's the same E3D Titan type extruder, which requires that you reverse the direction of the extruder. Plus, I wanted to go ahead and get a few things done in the firmware itself. So I wanted to revert to classic jerk and instead of junction deviation, and then move from there. But I thought I would at least throw this video up there so that you could see how it was printing. It's been a little bit of a labor of love over the last week or two to get it going again, but really kind of cool to finally tune out most of the stringing. I was really having issues with Klipper, and then even when I got back on Marlin to start with some crazy stringing that I just could not get tuned out. And at this point, I mean, I see a few wisps there, but even though it is slightly stringing, I think I see one going across there. We've really been able to tune out most of the stringing, and we're getting some pretty, excuse the shadow, but we're getting some nice results. This is kind of a rock stone bridge, and I'm really happy with the, even at 0.2 layer height, I'm really happy with the detail on the rocks and the way things are happening here. The other upgrade that you may have seen is the blower fan. This is really easy to do and get on. I mean, 5-volt blower 5015 blower fans cost I don't know, about a coffee on Amazon. And if you get that, you can use the same wires to basically splice into the same wire coming off the board. I was able to even hide those directly inside the cabling where I joined them without any issues. And I'm running a blower fan and the associated fan duct now for a little bit better cooling on this printer. So strongly recommend this mod, and if you go to Thingiverse and look for Medismo, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description to the thing that you can print here, and I did it in red PETG to mount your blower fan to the Eryone hot end. There's some more changes coming. I still have another hot end swap to do here. It's going to use the same housing, so it's going to look at, you're not going to see any difference in the way it looks, except that the insides will be a bit different. I'll be using a Micro Swiss Type J head hot end instead of the Eryone hot end. Hope you enjoyed just a quick update. I'll have some more to talk about my particular settings. I actually did get linear advance tuned on this printer, which is nice. And we can talk about that, as well as we can talk about the retraction settings that I've got going on. As a hint, much lower than you might expect with linear advance tuned. I'm actually, with this Bowden tuner, right now running retraction at just 2 millimeters and 20 millimeters per second retraction. So, and this is the result here. Very little, if any, stringing, and things are running nicely and cleanly. Nice bridging happening here too. I'm really excited about getting this thing up and running. Like, I was doing great printing here a month or so ago. Had a little bit of a rocky road there with the ER-20, but now it's coming back. Last but not least, you'll notice that I'm using a PEI sheet now instead of the glass. The glass was just starting not to adhere, no matter what. I hadn't changed any settings. In fact, I had to start using adhesive. I hate using having to use additives to get any type of adhesion, and I've really enjoyed the frosted PEI surfaces on other printers, so I went with a PEI sheet. Loving it so far. Any questions, any remarks, any requests, just leave them down in the comments. I'll have some links for you for these, like I said, the things, etc., and maybe some settings that I've settled on. And we'll talk to you all soon. Take care.